So I'm going to try to make this as quick as possible because my laptop is full. I have to go through and clean it up to free up some memory. So the video might cut out on me at any moment. Just be prepared for that. This is going to be a bit more evidence supporting my argument that I've been making for a few years now, that this guy, Zay Frank, and his family, his entire extended family too, not just his immediate family here, but his father, sister, so on and so forth, that I think that they are in a cult, and possibly even the same cult that Jeffrey Epstein was a part of. It's like a cult network of people. We all know this. And I think that they abuse children. I've been making this argument since before the Epstein files came out. And his father, Joachim Frank, Zay Frank's father here, was in the Epstein files. So there you go. So this is Zay Frank. He is a famous, popular YouTube content creator. He created True Facts. A lot of you have probably seen it. This is his wife, Jody Brandt. This is their adopted daughter, Rose, and their adopted son, Jonah. This is Jody Brandt's Facebook page we're looking at right here. So you can see up here. I already made a video a few months back in roughly June, August of 2025 last year, talking about how it was weird that she only has a handful of pictures of her kids on her Facebook page, and they're very young. They're from a very young age range. They're much older now. I think that their daughter would have been roughly around 10 years old in 2023, so she's probably about 12, 13 now. I'm not going to get in. I gave explanations for why I think that is in the previous video, so I'm not going to get into it now. Just go back and look, find the video from roughly, again, June, August, end of summer 2025, talking about Jody Brandt's Facebook page. So here, this is what I want to focus on, is you can see she posted, actually not long after I made that video and posted it to to YouTube, Jody here came out with a new post for her Facebook page where you can see her son Jonah here. And she's talking about how he was diagnosed with pediatric acute-onset neuropsychiatric syndromes, otherwise known as PANS. Why is this evidence supporting my argument? Because PANS is frequently caused from infections. It's triggered by infections and autoimmune reactions. You can see here it says severe trauma. It can also be caused by severe trauma from abuse. Can act as a significant contributing factor or environmental trigger. So I don't think she ever mentions here what caused her son to develop PANS. It has a number of causes, but one of those causes is abuse and trauma caused by abuse. So I'll let you read the description of it here, or go look it up and you can read the description of what it means. It's I'm sure not fun for a kid to have this. He doesn't look like he's having fun in that picture. So yeah, just saying, this could be a good bit of evidence supporting my argument that these guys are, again, I think they're in a cult. I think that they abuse children. And another bit of evidence I want to show you guys supporting my argument is I'm just going to play a little smidge of this. I hope I don't get, flagged for copyright. I don't know that this video is like that you can't share it or anything. I mean, it's a funeral video. So this video is depicting the funeral of Jody Brandt's father. So you can see Jody Brandt standing right here. You can see Zay Frank walking away right there. He just gave a little speech. He read like a poem. And I want you to pay attention. Now their kids are going to come in from the left here. I want you to pay attention to the little girls. So you can, this was 2023. I think August 2023 is when Jody Brandt's father passed. So you can see their daughter, Rose. I want you to pay attention to how clingy she is to Jody. And I'm going to discuss that in a moment. And I want you to pay attention to also the stimming she does. So that's a psychological term. It's also called a self-soothing tactic. See how, are you seeing how kind of clingy she is to her mother there? And it also shows, you can, if you watch through the whole video, I'm not going to show you the whole video. You can see there's several times, they get up on stage a couple times at least throughout this video. And she touches her mouth a lot. It's a lot of self-soothing tactics. Now, all right, I'm going to leave it there. I don't want to show too much of it. I just want to point out to you guys, again, she's about 10 here, roughly 10 years old. I was never that clingy of my mother. I have two younger sisters. We're all born roughly a year apart. We were never that clingy, and not at that age, with our mother. And we had been through plenty of traumatic, scary, anxiety-provoking incidents growing up, and around this age as well. I remember, for example, one time our car broke down. It was just our mom, myself, and my two younger sisters on the side of the road trying to flag down someone to help us. We did not cling to our mother like that. So for those of you who might say, like, well, she's at a funeral. Look, here you go. Let's bring up this example. Here's like kind of a little montage video of kids at a funeral. So here's a little girl. Again, I'm not going to play it. I don't want to get copyright flagged, but I'll kind of scroll through it for you. This little girl is just kind of speaking very openly. She's not scared. She's not anxious. She's not clinging to anybody. This little girl's dancing in the funeral home. She's dancing, okay? Dancing. This little girl, again, she's just like, la da 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 da. She's just talking. She's happy, smiley in the funeral home. She's crying. That's appropriate. This boy is just up on the stage, just in front of everybody, talking into a microphone, not clinging to any parents, nothing. And so far, these kids have been younger than 10 years old. He's younger than 10, for sure. This little girl's kind of mouthing off, like, you can't talk to her anymore. If she's dead. These boys are just, filling the hole with dirt. This little girl's crawling around under seats. Here's a boy, he looks like he's probably about 10 years old, 10 years old. He's singing in front of a whole group of people at a funeral in the church, okay? Like, oh, I'm gonna pause it. There we go. So, yeah, keep that in mind, guys. This girl is very clingy with her mom, and she does, you see that? Throughout the whole video, or most of the video, she's mushing her lips with her fingers. This is kind of it's called stimming. It's a self-soothing tactic. At 10 years old, it just feels like she shouldn't be so anxious and so clingy to Jody, even if she's at a funeral. And for those of you who are like, well, it's her grandfather's funeral. Her grandfather lived in Ohio, and she lived in Massachusetts, and I think maybe a little bit in L.A. Like, they lived in Zay and Jody here, they lived in L.A. and then moved to Massachusetts, and now they just recently moved to northern New Jersey. So as far as I know, they never lived in Ohio. She maybe saw her grandfather a handful of times so far in her 10 years of life. All right. My sisters and I even went to a funeral once when we were about this age. It was the father of one of our friends had passed away, one of our classmates. Again, we did not cling. We did not mush our faces and our lips. We did not show self-soothing tactics. This is a little bit troublesome. She's very self-aware, very worried about, what's going on around her. She looks very kind of nervous, and again, she's very clingy. It's just it could suggest abuse. So again, just showing you guys this stuff. Just wanted to get this out of the way. Been meaning to make this video for a little while. Zay Frank just posted here. I'll pull up. This might trigger the video to shut off, but oh well. Zay Frank just posted, so you can see here, this is his channel, YouTube channel, if you guys want to see what I'm talking about. He makes these videos, the True Facts videos. And since he just posted this video today, what will you do today? Well, this is what I'm doing, Zay. Pointing out reasons why I think your kids might be abused, and more evidence supporting my argument that you are likely in a cult that abuses children. And again, let me remind you guys, as I said before, his father, Joachim Frank, is a professor at Columbia University and a Nobel laureate, and he turns up in the Epstein files. And Jeffrey Epstein liked to collect rich, well-known scientists to be a part of his little network of friends. He was very good friends with Richard Axel, and Richard Axel worked until recently at Columbia University. I believe he just took leave of his position because of his association with Epstein. And Richard Axel was also a Nobel laureate. So you can bet that Richard Axel probably was, and Joachim Frank here knew each other very well. Both working at Columbia, both Nobel laureates. And Richard Axel was friends with Epstein for years and years and was invited to the island. Yeah. And I've been talking for a few years now about how this guy, Zay Frank, in his YouTube videos, specifically in his 2 older series on YouTube, A Show with Zay Frank and The Show with Zay Frank. So we'll pull up. If you go here to his playlists, you can see. I'm going to pause. You can see, there's a whole playlist of a lot of his videos from A Show with Zay Frank. And watching these videos a few years ago is when I first noticed he's making veiled references to occulted symbols. And from there, my research just took off. I felt in my gut that there was something wrong going on here. And also, I made a video last year I made a few videos talking about how he has a lot of kids. He features a lot of children in these videos. A lot of children. I didn't see any old ladies or old men. There were no old people in these videos, but tons of children. Tons of children. All right, guys. And there's also one of these videos, his projector video. I believe it's number 53, is it? Or 51. Here it is. Number 51. I made a video about this too, but you can go ahead and watch it yourself if you like. There we go. You just saw it. There's a hidden video, or a hidden frame picture in this video, and it's not going to let me show it, but we'll try again. We'll play it again real quick. There's a hidden picture that pops up really quickly of a little girl, and he hid it in this video. See? I don't know if I hope you guys saw it, but yeah. Go back and find that video on my channel. I made that video. I made a few different versions of that video talking about it, and you can easily see that picture. But again, just to recap, the main part of this video is just showing you guys their son has been diagnosed with an illness, a psychiatric illness that is quite often caused by trauma and abuse. All right? And their daughter, let's see if I can go back here. Nope. And their daughter is very clingy of her mother. Well, I hesitate to call her mother because if she's abusing her, then it's like that's a monster. It's not a mother. All right, honey bunny. Sorry, my cat is yelling at me. She wants attention. And she's showing a lot of self-soothing tactics. And again, it might be a funeral, but she should be old enough at this age to be handling it a bit better. Especially if she likely did not know her grandfather that well. I grew up with, like, in comparison to a lot of people who grew up with their grandparents, like, the next town over, I know I grew up with my grandparents, like, they were living the next town over. I saw them all the time, every event, every week, pretty much. Every birthday, every holiday, everything. Sometimes just weekends, we'd go over there. Sometimes just whenever. We'd just see them all the time. So there would have been a lot. I don't know. I still don't think I would have, if my grandfather had died when I was this age, I still wouldn't have been this clingy of my mother at his funeral. I just wouldn't have been. I know myself, my younger self, well enough to know that. I wouldn't have been mushing my face like this, doing all these self-soothing tactics. Yeah. And neither would my sisters have been doing that either. We would have been sad. We would have been upset. But we wouldn't have been doing this. We wouldn't have been clinging to our mother like this. So, all right, I'm going to leave it there. I don't think there was anything else I wanted to say. There should be, I'm planning another video to come out shortly. It's just going to be like a recap video. Just going down I'll make it a surprise. So I'll surprise you guys. So there we have it. Yeah. Ugh. Good night.